When it comes to fibre, most of us think of it as something we need to keep us regular, but its importance goes way beyond what happens in the bathroom. It's actually one of the most underrated nutrients that can help you boost and sustain your energy, balance your hormones, improve your mood, and help with weight loss. So let's have a look at what fibre is and why most of us aren't getting nearly enough. Basically, fibre is the part of plant foods that our body can't digest. We find it in things like vegetables, fruit, beans, seeds, and whole grains. And the recommended 30 grams per day, only 4% of the population in the UK are getting that. So the more highly refined and ultra processed your diet is, the less likely you are to be reaching that basic guideline level. So protein is getting some really good PR at the moment. We're learning about how important this is for our weight loss goals and for hormonal health, but fibre is still so underappreciated. So let's take a look at what that means for you, how it can help you with your body goals. Firstly, let's take a look at blood sugar. So we know that blood sugar balance and control is really important to help maintain our energy levels, helping to avoid those spikes and crashes, that feeling of being hangry, and also is really important for weight loss. So when you have fibre in a meal, that helps to slow the release of sugar or glucose into our bloodstream. So it's really, really important to have in a meal to get that stable energy that's going to keep you going, keep you feeling satisfied, and help reduce any sugar cravings. Next up, we have detoxification. So this is where being regular does help, because your liver has to process all the different toxins in the body, and then when they're processed, they need to be got rid of. So if you aren't regular, if you have constipation, those toxins are going to be hanging around. We can think about fibre as the kind of bin man of the body. So if the bin man goes on strike, then all the rubbish, all the toxins pile up, and that's not great news for our body. Why is detoxification important? In terms of our goals, it can impact your mental clarity, so brain fog. It can actually potentially impede weight loss efforts and, of course, your energy levels. And finally, hormone balance. Fibre helps to get rid of toxins, which can include used up estrogen, one of our big sex hormones. Once we've used it up, the body needs to get rid of it. The longer it hangs around in our colon, the more it's going to get reabsorbed. So if we haven't got enough fibre to help it leave the body, then it's going to get reabsorbed. So that can contribute to a phenomenon known as estrogen dominance. This is basically like a relative imbalance of estrogen to progesterone, another important sex hormone. And that can contribute to things like PMS symptoms. It can actually encourage weight gain around the hips and thighs, making that difficult to shift, as well as potential worsened symptoms in perimenopause. So how can we get enough fibre in our diet? Well, the recommended 30 grams a day is loosely based on getting 5 portions of vegetable and fruit a day. Now, I generally recommend more than that. I say go for 6 to 8 portions of vegetables a day and maybe 2 portions of fruit. So that's actually going to give you a lot more. But it's not just fruit and vegetables that will contribute to your fibre levels. Now, I encourage a high intake of vegetables, less so of fruit because they contain sugar. But the reason for that is that they're packed with antioxidants. So we really want to make sure we get those in for an anti-inflammatory diet, which is really important for all sorts of things in the body. More on that another time. But we can also get fibre from our beans, which are also a really good source of protein. So always important to mix up your protein sources to get more variety. You can get it from seeds. So these as well are a good source of another nutrient. So these are good sources of healthy fats. And we can get it from whole grains, which are slow release starchy carbohydrates. So lots to choose from. And finally, my top tip for you To avoid getting bloated and gassy, which can happen when you increase your fibre too quickly, is to increase your levels gradually. This gives your gut, and most importantly, your gut bacterial environment, a chance to readjust. Try and include some probiotic foods, things like sauerkraut, kimchi, maybe some kombucha, because these can really help to reintroduce some good gut bacteria, which you can then feed with the increased fibre. And that's just going to make things a lot smoother, and also make sure that you are drinking lots of water. You want to aim for, a nice clear straw coloured wee when you go to the toilet. And I promise this is going to be the last video that I actually do sitting on a toilet. So do me a favour, if you found this helpful, please do like and subscribe, and feel free to share this with a friend who you think is full of it.